everybody. Welcome back to Embodied Astrology with Dwight. And it's Leo season.
Yes.
Look, hold on.
Oh
It's
God.
Leo
Oh
season.
my gosh. You really did this. If you cannot tell, she is a Leo.
Just shining bright like the sun on this rainy day. It is rainy out there. There's not even sun for our Leo season. My goodness.
I know, right? So with this Leo season, first of all, we don't want to forget that when we ended July, we ended with July 26th. That's when we entered the Leo Aquarius at nodal axis. And that is going to be very important because that sets a new karmic cycle for like the next 18 months. And whenever we talk about Leo Aquarius, the theme of that is going to be me versus we. So literally what's happening is there's going to be emphasis on right now we have Jupiter, which is in Leo, and we're going to have Pluto, which is in Aquarius. And that's going to also put a very big point on how your individuality is being affected by and affecting social networks, communications, technologies, and the overall community. Because we all know there's just a lot of things going on in the world right now. And this is actually going to be a key point in how that is affecting us and how we affect it back in return. So when we first start off this complete, wonderful, wonderful month, this is going to be one of the first times that all of our personal planets are completely direct. So when I say direct, that's obviously the opposite of retrograde, which means you got to go inward, try and look inside to see what's going on and reflect. Right now, everything is direct. That means fast momentum. The beautiful thing about that means communications, relationships, energy, everything is going to flow so smoothly. There'll be no delays, no distractions, nothing. Everything will just go smoothly and wonderfully. And for Leo, that is what it wants to just beautifully perform and just be its best.
I like that because honestly, when you said like it's about the social networking and things like that and the we energy, I was like, Leo is extremely loyal. Like that's their thing.
Mhm.
If they trust you, if you're like part of the pack, they're loyal to the death. You've got a lion behind you. They're 100% behind you all the time. But then at the same time, if it's what Leos don't want to share their season, making it about everyone else and social networking and connecting. Like we like to connect. So it's like one of those things where when people talk about how Leos are a certain way, I take personal offense to that because that's not true at all. In fact, always make it a point to try to step back so that other people can shine.
Mhm.
Because with Leo, I don't think it's something that they try to do. I think it's something that happens inherently.
Mhm.
They like to dance in the energy of what's happening. They like to
Yep.
orchestrate energy and just dance and be part of it. Even performing isn't like 1,000% how I would like click that word in, but
Mhm.
maybe it is. It's just dancing in the middle of all that energy and just feeling how wonderful and beautiful it is. But I saw this. This is real.
Mhm.
How people say, why do Leos think that the world revolves around them? And then like if you look at their solar system, like there's the sun and there's Leo, and then there's everyone else revolving around Leo
Yeah.
while they're right next to the sun. So stuck on that. You know what I mean? Like really that's just God's energy. I have nothing to do with it.
Literally, literally.
I do have a question. Can you tell me a
Yes.
little bit about the push and pull between the Leo Aquarius energy? Because the Aquarius is like the opposite sign to Leo,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, what is the relationship usually between Leo and Aquarius out of curiosity?
So that's when we go really deep into what I mean when I say me versus we. So every sign has an energy that they're just here for. Leo's is, and that's what I love about what you said. The one thing about Leos that people get the bad rest for them, so is they say they're egotistical and attention seeking, and they always just care about themselves. They just want to just be the center of attention all the time. But the thing about it is, Leo is the ruler of the fifth house, which is all about joy, creativity, romance, fun, children, hobbies. Leo just rules all the funnest expressions in this world, and they want to live in that. Their whole energy is just being that. Aquarius, on the opposite end, is all about communities, friendships, networks, um, how different people come together. So as Leo is so much focused on what can I do for more like no, more like what can they do for me? Like I'm center stage and they're all here to see me. Aquarius says, what can I do for them? It's fine being the background character. It's fine just saying, I know I'm contributing to society in some way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what has this nodal axis and this karmic cycle is going to be all about. It's going to be about you needing to really learn who you are authentically, because that is the biggest word when it comes to Leo. Leo is not just about performance in the form of being fake. It is true expression. It is authentically being you. And you need to find out who you are on an authentic level. And only that way can you give truly back to society. Can you give the community what it actually needs, not what you think it needs.
Hmm. I'm seeing a lot of correlations here because, of course, we don't ever have any way to understand the things that we learn except to apply them to our own experiences.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm seeing the correlations in that between Leo and Aries, like the authenticity piece.
Yeah.
Because I am like scared of Aries. Aries is boss bitch, right? And then like Leo, not necessarily boss, but likes to kind of, I don't know the word for that, you know. I like to know everything that's going on. I like to have a hand or a favor or an influence or an inspiration in each little piece. And Aries is just like the boss. So sometimes I find the headbutt thing between the Aries and Leo, but where they're connecting is the authenticity piece. And as long as respect is there, they can be best of friends. I also see the headbutt sometimes between Leo and Aquarius. Not always. Sometimes I feel like they can mesh together very, very well. But sometimes I notice the headbutt with Leo and Aquarius where Leo wants to be independent and do their own thing. And then Aquarius is like, well, where'd you get that? Where are you getting this from? How do we do this? What can, and like, it's like the pull of the energy.
Yeah.
Stop it. Leave me alone. I just want to do my own thing.
And I feel like a lot of that has to do with like the actual both it has to do with the element behind them and their rulers. Because obviously, like we said, sun is Leo. It's just I'm the king, I'm here to shine, I'm here to exist. But Aquarius is ruled by both Uranus and Saturn. So Uranus is the cosmic rebellion. I just want to go against all the norms. I want to break down society. I want to kind of go the out of the box way. And Saturn is a disciplinarian. It's like I like responsibilities, I like restrictions, I like discipline. So Aquariuses have this weird thing about them because they have both of those, which means I'm going to break down the system so that I can create a whole new one and go about it in that way.
That's the God complex right there. That has nothing to do with Leo. Nothing to do with me. Nothing.
And then because Aquarius is air, then Leo is fire. So obviously Leo is medical. In medical astrology, Leo is ruled by the heart. Leo is very heart centered. It's going to think from that point. Where Aquarius is in the mind, it's in the head. It's going to be like this needs to make sense, and we need to create systems to how this makes sense. If not, I'm going to create my own. And usually people don't do very well with people who's like, I'm just going to go about it in my own way. Because Leo's also going to say, well, then I'm going to go about it in my own way.
Well, fine. Well, just do our own thing then. So what is there a specific date when we're going through the me versus we, the Leo Aquarius energy?
That I started, what's today? July 24th. That officially starts July 26th.
July 26th.
And that'll be going up until March 2028.
Oh, Lord. That's gonna happen for a long time.
Yes.
But that's good for collective energies in society, I think. That
Mhm.
takes plenty of time to tear down and rebuild.
Oh, heck yeah. Because we got all these like smaller details happening, but we can't forget the bigger things that's happening in the background. And those nodal axes are one of the biggest things. And then Saturn and Neptune are still in Aries. So just like that connection that you were making actually is saying that when we had that huge shift for Saturn going to Aries, because that is a generational shift, those are very important. It's saying that throughout all of this change, when you're trying to figure out what you're going to do for community, how you're going to help it out, but still remembering yourself, your individuality, your power, your growth is at the basis of all of this. One of the biggest messages I kept getting when I was writing all this was the matrix is dead.
Mm.
The system is over. The system is rotting. Now it is time for you to stop trying to fix what is being revealed to be broken and create something new. Create your own philosophy for what this Leo season wants. Create your own philosophy for your story and become your own main character.
Yeah. Is I'm ready for it. I'm like, okay, let's do it. Let's do it.
But the fun thing about all this is because we don't get too wrapped up into all this because this is the nodal axis. This is the opposite of the whole Leo Aquarius. So of course you're going to become your own main character. Become your own main character. Discover who you are. Be authentically you. But August 12th, we have a total solar eclipse in the sign of Leo. And this is going to be a rare solar eclipse because it's going to be a retrograde solar eclipse,
Oh my
which
God.
doesn't always happen.
So what do we expect there then? Like, what does that mean? Because that's a lot all at one time.
Yes. So what ends up happening is, which is so funny. So Leo says takes the stage in your life. But when this eclipse happens, it's gonna be a total blackout. Basically, the universe is going to shut the stage lights off and saying now you're forced to see where you are and who you are without the audience, without the applause, without seeing who's actually there for you.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I really like that a lot. I really do. It's one of those paradox situations where, in order to do what I do, we make these videos. We have to be out there. We have to show our knowledge and teach what we're guided to teach, and download all of these things. But like, I really like to step away. I like to not answer my phone for days at a time. Just hit the road without any plans. Go somewhere crazy. Maybe you'll find me under a bridge or the top of a mountain on the beach. Who knows where we're gonna end up? And I actually, believe it or not, really like to not socialize with people. Extrovert, and I'm like, no, I'm really only extroverted when I'm talking to plants and animals. I really just like to be in a space where I will just talk to animals all day. And I've always been that way. I will psychically talk to plants and animals, and I don't need anything else. Not a thing else. I mean, food. I need food. I like food. I like to turn the stage lights off for a minute because I can be cool by myself. Wild Woman will come out and I'll be covered in mud, barefoot somewhere. But like, I mean, it might scare you a little bit, the howling.
I love it. I love it.
And that lasts for the day, I would assume.
Yes, that is. Yep, that's gonna pretty much be for that day, as it sets that. But it's gonna be very intense for that time being, obviously for obvious reasons, and because it's so rare. This particular one is going to be very very good for destroying karmic cycles, literally digging deep into ancestral, karmic issues, and then I will also say specifically for this eclipse as well is what did I put up? Ah, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Oh yeah, feeding the fake ego. Any attempt to feed your fake ego or shrink yourself during this time is going to be literally met with cosmic consequences. By that, I don't mean something like super, super dramatic and horrible. I just mean that anything that you do is going to completely backfire. If you are posting for clout, posting just to be seen without any depth, if you're just putting on this fake facade for people, if you're even diminishing yourself, all of those things will completely backfire and be thrown in your face. Because the thing about a total eclipse is different from like when we have full moons and new moons. Whenever we have a full moon and new moon, normally we just say, this is a time that this is a perfect time for you to meditate, for you to focus on this. And if you do so in alignment with the universe, it will flow much easier than if you were to do any other time. During a total eclipse, that is still a new moon, but what's actually happening is the moon jumps in front of the sun. The sun is your conscious ego, and the moon is your subconscious. So what ends up happening is the subconscious mind leaps over and swallows the ego. So this is literally the universe saying, we're bypassing your ego. We're literally shutting off so you cannot have access to your ego and external stimuli so that you're forced to receive all the downloads straight to your subconscious mind about what you need to be doing during this time. This is going to be a perfect time for your next spiritual evolution.
Ego death.
Yes, exactly.
What I really liked about that line was that it wasn't just about when you said feeding the ego. When we think of feeding the ego, we think of being egotistical, right? Needing attention, needing validation from outside sources. But what you said after feeding the ego was making yourself small. And we don't think about how feeding the ego being the human part of you that's fearful of everything, and that's why it needs validation. We don't think of feeding the ego as being how we're keeping ourselves small or how we're holding ourselves back. So that really stood out to me. I liked that. Make yourself small during Leo season, you're all gonna shine.
Exactly.
Individual spotlights.
You said what?
Individual spotlights. Everybody has one. Just turn it on.
Yes, please, please, please do. That is, I feel like, and Mary could do this because she's also an entrepreneur. The also great time about this season is, personally, I always felt that I think the best businesses, which is why I like small businesses, are ones that literally feed on what you give back. Personally, like I feel like a lot of small businesses, you can see the owner in them. And that was your individual. That's that Leo Aquarius. It always starts with what you do. The Leo says, how can I encourage? How can I inspire? How can I uplift? Aquarius says, now, how do I do that to others, the community? And that is what's going to be just so amazing about this time. Constantly that whole me versus we. Not literally a battle, but an internal kind of tension that you really need to either diffuse or work on. It's more so putting a spotlight on how you see yourself in the community and how you feel like the community affects you. With that also being said, I do want to also say that because we're talking about communities, when you be yourself, the right people will come to you. That's important to say because they say, was it the proximity principle, that you become more like the first 5 people that you tend to surround yourself with? If you don't feel like those people are anything like what you want to be, you need to dismiss yourself from them. That is important. Also seeing where you are in the certain communities you already are in, this is a perfect time to actually look at that as well.
Speaking truth. You sound like my dad. He used to say that all the time growing up. You are who you surround yourself with. And I'm like, I'm really not. I'm myself. Have you seen me? Like I never got it growing up, but I do because, you want people who can see you for who you are and connect with you on a soul level and who you're not always trying to perform for or become something for them. So maybe that's the Leo talking, right? I don't want to have to change myself for you. I am happy with myself. But I think that's a healed Leo, the authenticity piece and understanding your value and your worth and just getting to exist, just getting to be who you are as you are. And a lot of that's with the connection in the community. So will we be seeing a lot more community connection during Leo season, or is this where we're starting to understand where we stand and how we want community to be?
I'd say more so where we stand, just because it just started. And then as we move forward, which we'll talk about later, once we go toward the rest of the months, you'll start to see how that spreads out more towards other people.
Mhm.
Because next will be August 22nd. That's when we enter Virgo season.
Mhm.
And Virgo, Virgos are so funny to me.
I love that.
Um, because Leos are the party. They're the party animals, and Virgo is the cleanup crew.
Oh no.
Virgo literally comes in and says, okay, now let's clean up. Let's organize. Let's strategize. Let's kind of let's ground into practicality, is literally what Virgo is literally like. Virgo rules the sixth house. Like I said, Leo's the fifth house, which is fun, hobbies, friendships, romance, all that stuff. Virgo's is the practical, mundane life, day-to-day habits, work life, um, disease. Just the small little things that you don't really want to do, honestly, is how it's described. Like, for instance, if you would say, I need to go to the mailbox, Virgo is that I need to do this to get this done. Those
Mm.
little, little things.
So by disease, I'm curious, does that mean that just inherently people with important Virgo placements might be drawn towards healthcare types of
Yes.
jobs? Okay.
People with strong Virgo placements always go towards healthcare.
Okay. Interesting. That's the first I've heard that. But for you guys, if you are thinking about community during Leo season, remember that we have lab groups once a month, Life's Anonymous Battles. It's totally free. We come online as an online community and we just talk about what's going on, what we're thinking, what we're feeling, and we share with Sacred Fire to transmute energies. And Dwight does lots of cool community stuff with the workouts, the physical embodiment of health, but like fun workouts. Like all of your are so fun.
Yes. I love, love, love dance fitness. Please come with me to McLeod Health and Fitness Center here in Florence, South Carolina, if you want to dance.
You might have to dance. It's Leo season. Will you dance for us? It's a birthday present.
When is your birthday again? When's your exact birthday?
The 17th.
17th. Oh, okay. Oh, later, Leo.
Yes, which leads me to the question, because everybody, I see it all over social media. It's a real thing. People divide Leos into July Leos and August Leos and pit them against each other. What is the main difference between a July Leo and an August Leo?
So, if you were to look at the zodiacal wheel, just with all the signs, we know that it makes a circle. And a circle is 360 degrees, which means since there's 12 signs, each sign is divided into 30 degrees. So, with Leos, since they're in 30 degrees, each sign also has, trying to figure out how to say this. Within the 30 degrees, it's like 10 degrees between each. So it's like 3 chapters, 10,
Okay.
20, and 30.
Mhm.
And July is in the first 10, and then August is in the 20 and the 30. And each degree kind of has like a little manager that manages it. And July, since they're the only one in the 10 degrees, is managed by the sun.
Okay.
But the later August is actually managed by Jupiter and Mars. So, as much as Leos may not love to hear me say this, Julys are considered the foundational Leos. They are considered the first because they're the only one that actually has the sun in them. So I would say that this.
I'll try later. Go ahead.
So, and also we have to keep in mind that this is straight after Cancer season. So usually this is when I say the foundational Leo, this is like Leo before we talk about all the pride and before they get out there, before they perform. This is that protective, warm, pure solar radiance of Leo.
Mm.
July Leos are known to be more receptive because they still have that little Cancerian elements because they're Cancer influenced. So they're more receptive, they're more creative, their fire is more so fueled towards the home and pretty much protecting what is theirs. They're like mama lion.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when we get into August Leos, because that's Jupiter and Mars, these are Leos that are a lot more adventurous, a lot more purpose driven. These are the ones that says, I want to conquer, I want to succeed, I want to do, but not like Aries conquer, where it's just like the brute force. This because just like how the other one was Cancer led or Cancer influence, these are more Virgo influence. So theirs is more regal, more refined. It's I'm still gonna be the king, queen. I'm going to go out and conquer do I want, but I'm gonna look good when I do it. And that's how when you were talking about you were saying, I was like, that makes a lot of sense because obviously are more Virgo influenced. Their fire is it says they're a fiery Leo, but when it comes to work, they're a lot more meticulous. They're a lot more analytical, and they're a lot more focused on competence and excellence. The August Leos are a lot more. I don't want to just perform. I want to be the best at what I do. My authenticity is you're going to see it, and you're going to see me do it amazingly. July ones are just kind of like it's the sun. I'm just here to exist. So the clash usually is between the sovereign and the conqueror. Because July Leos, because they are just the sun. The sun is just the ego. It's the king. Is I exist. They kind of just feel like I already have the stage. I don't have to perform for it. I don't need to do all that. They see August Leos as doing too much. August Leos see July Leos as you have the stage and you're not owning it. Like your sense of quiet entitlement is lazy because why aren't you doing stuff with all this? Like they respect the power in each other. They mirror each other, but they go about their power in different ways. And because this is a sign of the ego, it kind of sets them off more than I feel like any other two signs. Because every sign is going to be divided into two. But I feel like with Leos, that's just usually how they are.
I've never felt more seen in my life. You always have the stage. Why aren't you using it? Literally, earlier I said everyone has a light. Just freaking turn it on, bro. Seriously, because I'm a later Leo, you said that was influenced by Virgo. There's more meticulous, doing things well, wanting that. You said a certain thing about just wanting people to do things to the best of their ability, to be very intentional, is how I see that. But I always attributed that attribute, because I'm very detail oriented, I always attributed that to my Capricorn moon.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that's actually the Leo portion also.
Mm-hmm.
It's owning the stage.
Yep.
Okay. I'm learning so much all of us and how we relate together.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we need to know about Leo season, either end of July or through August?
I would say once we get through, once you get to Virgo season, I said that's the time to just start planning. So the beginning of August, honestly, was very intense. It kind of hit hard and fast. Everyone's just kind of running, hyped up on passion and adrenaline. By the time we get to Virgo, this is when everything slows down. This is like, okay, you know who you are now. Let's kind of plan this into everyday details to kind of ground it a little bit more to try and add some sustenance to it. Is it sustenance or substance? Substance to it. And
sustenance, nurture, feed.
Yeah, true.
But depth,
yes, definitely do that. And just try to little habits that you can do that once you really know who you are, just even like just self-care things. And that's going to be very important for Virgos because Virgo is all about, like I said, sickness, but also health, healing. That's very, very important to Virgo. And then after that, on August 28th, we enter the partial lunar eclipse in Pisces.
Dang.
Yes.
That, are we all going to super cry?
Actually, this one won't be that big. And I really have to say, I know, again, I love my Virgos, but it's going to be a little bit more boring because Virgo's involved.
Okay.
So it's going to be a full moon, but because it's lunar eclipse, it's going to be a little bit bigger. And I say the partial one because it's not going to be 100% like how it was in the beginning. I think August 12th, that one was a total solar eclipse. It was 100% covered. This is only going to be 96%. So the universe is saying, I want you to do all this, but I'm gonna give it to you slowly. We don't have to go all the way in. Just little baby steps. But because Virgo is all about health and healing, Virgo is a earth sign. So their health and healing is going to be a lot more physical. This is literally how you take care of your physical body. Pisces is the opposite of Virgo. Pisces is going to focus a little bit more on spiritual healing. So when these two come together, they're literally going to be locked in this position. During this time, you're going to need to be focused on what are you doing and what is affecting your mental, physical, and spiritual health, and then purge it. Because full moons are all about closures, endings, fated endings, and literally letting go of what no longer serves your purpose. And Pisces is just going to say, let's just purge ourselves. Let's just get rid of all this stuff that's no longer helping us, that's keeping us healthy, whole, and full.
Yeah, that sounds like it's probably going to be a little dramatic. I'm just saying. Now, Virgos, I think you said the right word. Okay. No one likes the word boring, right? But
Right.
Virgos are actually extremely freaking dramatic. They just do it in such a calm way that you don't realize they're being dramatic, but they are. They're just being like out there, man. Like Virgos, man. I love Virgos. Like my sister's a Virgo, my oldest son's a Virgo. Like I'm surrounded by people who are Virgos throughout life, and we've always gotten along really well. The August Virgo thing, August kind of pulls them out of their shell a little bit, and the Virgo kind of grounds them in a little bit. But honestly, Virgo's like, F it, whatever you want to do, let's go.
Yes.
I'll be honest, like they will do that. They're not grounding force the way that Taurus is a grounding force.
Yeah, no.
Like, Taurus will stand their ground and say, no, we're being rooted. We're not going to do that. Virgo will go ahead. Virgo will be like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I'm just going to be dramatically calm while I do it. So
Yeah.
that's my impression.
I do love. I love my. Actually, I realized I used to think I would not like Virgos, but all of my closest, bestest friends are Virgos. I feel like it's because I'm an Aries and I need that sensibility in my life. Someone to tell me, this makes sense or this doesn't. But they're always down for the cause. They're just gonna just probably add a little bit more structure along the way, so it's not too chaotic. But what?
Do you find Virgos to be highly gullible?
Gullible.
We're gonna get to Virgo next season. This is Leo season, but I just had that thought because it could be other placements involved. But of a couple of the Virgos I know, I'm curious just if they're inherently gullible, trusting, overly trusting, just just curious. Unless they're in a wounded space, and then they're the opposite.
I feel like because Virgos rule healing and they are Earth sign, Virgos are also known as the master architects. They are really great at providing the foundation to things. No, I won't even say that because I feel like Taurus is more so providing the actual foundation. Virgos is more for actually fixing it up and the infrastructure. So Virgos have a complex where they want to fix things, which means they're willing to go into any situation, meet any person in their most broken states, and literally go to anything that's considered not necessarily put together in hopes that they can be the one to put it together.
Okay. There's the yes man thing. Okay. I see it. Is there anything else Leos need to know or that other people need to know about Leos? Just to warn everybody through Leo season or what they need to be doing. Anything else we haven't mentioned? Lots of fun too. I think everyone should party through Leo season.
No. Trying to see what message I get. I do know for July Leos, I do want to say that because they still have that Cancer influence, this biggest thing for them right now is come out of your cage. It is literally just come out. And then August Leos, continue to be yourself.
Will do.
Try not to hurt other people in the process.
Okay. I had a very Leo thought, and it was like, well, if you put your finger inside of a candle flame, is it the candle's fault? No.
True.
So much for being with us, Dwight. This is a ton of good information that we can use and apply for the month. And we'll see you back for Virgo season.
Yes.
Bye, everybody.